Hello and welcome to Connect. I'm your host, Randy Shermilo. On today's show, we'll have Susan Gallagher, the owner of Soul Paper, giving us some insight into the paper and writing utensils that are available to help pass that time during this pandemic and beyond. As always, we'd love to connect with you. Follow us on Facebook to watch new and past interviews or email us at connectyxe@gmail.com. One of the things that we've noticed with people who are trying to find things to do with their time and shopping for others is the gift of paper and what to do with some of those talents that many of us have maybe hidden away that we don't know about. Susan Gallagher here with the Soul Paper company that she's founded and the happiness maven that she is, taking some time out of that busy schedule at the shop to help us out with a little bit of an understanding about what Soul Paper does. Susan, thanks for taking a moment with us.
Oh, thank you for having me, Randy.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and the background that you bring to this new store that you have. How did it come to be?
Well, actually, it's something that I wanted to do ever since I was 17 or 18. And I just carried it around with me in my back pocket as I went through interior design and spent a lot of time in the more corporate world. And many years ago now, I was laid off after working for 10 years with a company in management. And I realized, if I don't follow this dream that's been niggling at me all these years, I'll always wonder what if. And so I put it in motion.
I'm glad you did, because it seems to be a magnet of sorts for a lot of people wanting to maintain some of that skill that they've had with writing utensils and fine papers and gifts and so on. What was the basis of Soul Paper getting started then with some of your core items that you have?
Well, I have been an artist for a long time, sort of a closet artist, let's say that. And I have always been attracted to paper. So it really did start with paper. And of course, so many things, it's the big sheets of decorative paper. I have a whole pile of them at home. And of course, it just expands from there into the beautiful writing papers and even behind me, puzzles and those kinds of things. So that was sort of the journey of it. I've also liked to write. I will write some short stories here and there. Writing is just an interest of mine as well. And I'm an avid reader, which of course then stems back to paper and all of those things. So that was really the beginning of it all.
It's obvious when we receive mail and there's envelopes and paper as well, that there are different textures and qualities of paper. Where would you, or how many different kinds of paper would the store offer to people that are coming there?
Whoa, that's a good question. As far as the large sheets of paper go, we bring them in from all over the world. And I would say we've probably got about 200, maybe 200 different styles of large sheets of paper. And then we have some beautiful Italian writing papers, and all of the various notebooks that we have all different qualities of paper. Some are great with fountain pens, or a lot of people use their fountain pens for sketching. A lot of people don't actually write with their fountain pens, they sketch. So we have all kinds of different ways to obsess over paper.
So it's not just for someone to be able to write on. It's for artists as well, or someone who wants to maybe do something in a little more creative way.
Yes, I primarily like to collage with paper, but we have a lot of people who do a lot of paper folding, not just origami, but other types of paper folding, book binding. As I said, the mixed media art. We've got the writers, we've got bullet journalers, just your standard journalers. Paper just seems to to speak to a lot of people on so many different levels.
People who are looking for gifts and what to do with some time that they may have to discover a hobby that, like you mentioned, you were a closet artist of sorts. Uh,
Yeah.
were there things that came to light as a result of the recent health issues that people have been faced with and needing to stay home, that they've uncovered some talents and a passion for what you have?
Oh, most definitely. You know, people, the pandemic really has caused a lot of people to look inside themselves. There's been lots of different emotional feelings about this, some really positive, some not so great. And I think that people have, first of all, they want to fill their time. And so they're filling their time by being creative. Puzzles, of course, became huge because people, just wanted to be doing something with their hands. Our locally, I shouldn't say locally, but provincially made watercolors became very popular. And of course, our papers. Our papers are very soothing and happy, and people were just really drawn to that. And our community was so great to us, so supportive. It was wonderful.
That's great to see that you also have, a little bit of a pickup service as well, and the store is still open and managed on an appointment basis. What happens when you have some special events, for example, or there may be milestones if there's Saskatchewan women entrepreneurs, uh, Father's Day, Mother's Day, graduations. Are there things that people would find at your store that would help them with those special events as well?
Oh, yes. And, we offer appointments for people who really are uncomfortable, but our shop is also open. We're just limited to 4 or 5 people at a time, is what we're letting in. And, really want to make sure people feel safe. So we've got that in place. But as far as gift giving and that kind of thing, we have lots of different ways that people can access that. We have online shopping. We have curbside pickup. We will do local deliveries. Um, I've also done some FaceTime videos with people and walk them through the store as if I was shopping with them, and people really enjoy that. And as far as the gifts for Father's Day and grads, yeah, we definitely have some really beautiful, beautiful things. Our fountain pens, of course, are a beautiful Father's Day or grad gift. And again, the papers to wrap it, or even making a piece of art to give as a gift would be lovely.
That was one of the most intriguing parts about visiting your store was there were so many unique items that you just don't always see down some major chains, if you will, or larger stores. If someone was to kind of come to your store, what would that experience be like in terms of what they can expect if they're just not sure about what it is that Soul Paper is about? What would you tell them?
Well, it is a bit of a treasure hunt in here. There's lots of different things to look at. Um, I think that I would tell them that they can expect to be really cared for and that they're very important. Um, I do think that, we have a lot of, it's really tough to put it, to kind of encapsulize everything that Soul Paper has to offer. I would say it's an experience of calm and adventure at the same time. Um, our traveler's notebooks, for example, can be so many different things. It can be a journal. It can be a place where you put your art. It, there's just so many different ways of doing that. And that's a product that we brought in when we first opened. We were the first company in Saskatchewan, and I think perhaps the third company in Canada that carried traveler's notebooks.
It's a bit of a lost art, and I think we owe it, to yourself for bringing that back so that people can discover it if they haven't already and relive it if they've done it before. Uh, Do you find that maybe with the travel season, a bit of pressure to not travel across the border and as much, that people are discovering a new way to communicate other than just a cold email and maybe actually sit down and put some thought into writing an actual letter or thank you card even?
What I always find really interesting is that there are so many young people who really weren't brought up without technology. And they are as interested and find it as wonderful to be in our shop and writing and creating and bullet journaling and doing, all these old school things instead of being on their phone. So I think that paper really transcends all age groups. And I think that there's just a connection. I don't know what it is, but there really is a connection to corresponding in an old-fashioned way. I think it's part of it is maybe just that personal handwriting. We all have our own identity in our handwriting, and becomes very personal. It becomes very intimate, and I do think that that's part of the connection. But also, paper is it's kind of nostalgic. It's from nature, and I just think there's a connection.
We kind of look at the bigger picture of what it is that you offer and how people can access, find out about more of what you do. In a normal type of year, pre-pandemic, did you find yourself doing some teaching or educating groups
Mhm.
of people or families about some of the products you have?
Yeah, that's one of the sad things about the pandemic is our workshop space is small. It's very intimate, and so on a cozy evening, we might be able to fit in 8 or 10 people. Um, so with the restrictions, that might be 2 or 3, and it just makes it really hard. But yes, we normally do uh, again mixed media, calligraphy, alcohol inks, all kinds of different workshops where we would work through different products with people. And we also used to do an event once a month where we would just, a group of women would just get together and pick a topic and just talk. So, that was always a good one too. Very spirit filling.
Can't wait to get back to that. If people wanted to find out more about Soul Paper, Susan, how would they reach you and find out more about you?
Well, we are online at soulpaper.ca. You can reach out to us at hello@soulpaper.ca. We're on Instagram at Love Soul Paper, which is like signing a letter to someone, Love Soul Paper. And then we're on Instagram at Soul Paper. So, yeah, we're in a few places. And you're always welcome to call the shop, 306 665 7685.
Susan, thanks for doing what you do and helping keep a lot of people, I guess, sane through this pandemic and provide us with many opportunities to capture that creativity and hopefully see this grow a little bit more into the future coming out. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Randy. I really enjoyed our conversation.
That's our show for today. I'd like to thank our guest, Susan Gallagher from Soul Paper. I'm your host, Randy Shabbato. We'll see you next time on Connect.